Alaska or North Dakota. Residents here pay more than $3.5 billion in federal taxes each year, but they have no vote in Congress on how that money is spent.
Everybody else gets to vote on the D.C. budget, except the person who represents the District of Columbia. This thing is full of such outrageous ironies that we got to pull it apart and do something about it.
ELEANOR Holmes Norton is D.C.'s non-voting delegate to the House of Representatives. She's pushing a bill that would give the district a voting seat in the House. Since D.C. is staunchly Democratic, there's a sweetener for Republicans, another seat for Utah, a solid red state. Similar efforts have failed before. This time, though, Democrats firmly control Congress, and President Obama is on board. With the change poised to become law, conservative opponents say it's unconstitutional. The district is not a state, and only states get a vote in Congress.
That the founders wanted the district to be a unique place, a neutral meeting ground for lawmakers from around the state. And I think actually the founders would be upset over the idea that Congress believes that through a piece of legislation it can make the District of Columbia the equivalent of a state.
Those who are for D.C. voting rights say the Constitution gives Congress sole jurisdiction over the district, and that includes, they say, giving D.C. this vote. Bottom line, this issue is expected to be settled in court, maybe even by the Supreme Court. John and Kieran?
Brianna Keeler for us, thanks. And right now the battle lines are being drawn over the president's ambitious budget. It tackles everything from the environment to education, but can the president really get it all done? And at what cost to you, the taxpayer? We've got some great economic minds here in the studio, and we'll talk to them just ahead.
Well, I'm coming to you from high in the Berkshires at Jiminy Peak Mountain Resort. And, you know, at first glance, this could be any ski resort in America. I mean, you've got the skiers, you have the snow, you got the trees, you have the ski lifts. But, you know, there is one big thing that does set this place apart from any other ski resort in America. Take a look.
Meet Zephyr, a turbine named after the Greek god of wind. It's taller than the Statue of Liberty, standing more than 250 feet high. And it generates power for the mountain.
We had been trying to do everything we could to conserve on energy, and somebody suggested take advantage of the wind.
Not exactly Everest, but still, man, let me tell you, this is pretty intense. Watching on.
Zephyr's blades produce a third of the resort's electricity, and when demand is low, it helps power local homes and businesses. But not everyone is a fan of the $4 million turbine.
We've had some people in the community that have said, I don't want to look at that.
And studies show turbines can be deadly for migrating bats, but some think the benefit far outweighs the cost.
This is the sign of the future. If it helps us have less dependence on foreign oil, it's a wonderful thing.
That thing's going to keep giving us power every year.
Reynolds Wolf, CNN, Hancock, Massachusetts.
Solutions is sponsored by Waste Management. From everyday collection to environmental protection, think green. Think Waste Management. Go to cnn.com/solutions to watch extended solutions videos.
You may not realize it, but there's a source of renewable energy right in your neighborhood, and you're helping to power it. Today, Waste Management is using the resources at our disposal to create energy from waste. Enough green energy to power over 1 million homes. From everyday collection to environmental protection, think green, think Waste Management.
Congress just spent nearly $800 billion of your money. How much is that? Well, suppose you spent $1 million every single day starting from the day Jesus was born, and kept spending through today. $1 million a day for more than 2,000 years. You would still have spent less money than Congress just did. So what did you get? Economists say most of the money won't help this year. The nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office says the plan will actually hurt the economy in the long run. And what about the billions wasted on pork and pet projects? Congressional liberals say,
let me say this to all of the chattering class that so much focuses on those little tiny yes, porky amendments. The American people really don't care.